Okay, so why don't you tell us about your experiences scuba diving and the barracudas that you encountered?
Well, I met a lot of barracudas. You asked me earlier if I about the attack. No, I haven't been attacked because there's no getting away from a barracuda. They're the fastest things in the water. So, uh, but it's very interesting to understand their technique of attack while we're talking about it. Just imagine a big parrotfish this big, and a cuda goes by. Instead of his teeth are not big teeth like a shark. They're small, very sharp teeth, and so you get the effect of a serrated knife, or a bread knife, and so on. So he hits the parrotfish, goes past him, and stops about 5 yards further down. And the barracuda is the only fish in the world, I think, that turns like it had a gyroscope in it. It doesn't swim in a circle. It just stops, turns around like this, then boom, another strike, and 2/3 of the parrotfish are missing. And down he stops again, does this same gyroscopic turn, and then one more strike, and the parrotfish, big parrotfish, is gone in 3 bites. And this is how the cuda attack. They strike like that. They go by with the side of their mouth. They go and rip off a big piece. And deadly fish. Attack people more and more. Nothing like sharks, but there's probably 30 or 40 pretty well documented attacks by barracuda. And then there are other divers who just disappear, and some of them may be victims of really big barracuda. Anyway, the first time I saw one of these guys, we were diving at Diamond Rock in Martinique. Go there and dive if you're a diver. It's one of the most beautiful places. It's like an underwater mountain. The big Prudential Rock underwater, covered with coral, and goes down and down and down. And as you go around, you see all the different types of fish, colors of fish. It's a paradise for skin divers, and I was lucky enough to go there almost every day because I taught yoga at the Club Med. The dive boat went out before my class. Well, we came around the rock. I was leading for some reason, about 8 of us, and there was a barracuda hanging in the water. Very close, maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 feet from me. I was quite startled. Everybody else came around the rock and froze. When you see one of these things, you freeze. And he looks, well, like he's 6 feet or whatever, because the mask exaggerates everything by about 1/3. You probably know that, the swim mask. So everything looks huge anyway. But the most impressive thing is how immobile this fish is. It's one of the few immobile fish you see in the ocean. They just hang there and look like carved out of a solid bar of silver. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous, and a pale yellow eye kind of staring at you. And as I hung on the rock there looking at this guy, he then went into this gyroscopic turn and turned around so he was facing me head on and about 3 yards away, at which point I got a little nervous. Fortunately, what can you do? Oh, then I remembered from the books I'd read that they hate white, or they attack white. They think that's a piece of fish or something. And I looked down and I had a white a t-shirt on, a turtleneck. You couldn't have been whiter than I was at the moment. So a very nervous moment, but he didn't attack. Anyway, that was the first time I saw a cuda, and an unforgettable one, because though he's probably only about 4 feet long going this way, they grow this way, and their chests get enormous. Apparently they grow like this for a while, then they grow like this for a while. And the biggest captured cuda had a 40-inch chest size, which is about like a high school basketball player. Okay. Well, that's enough for the first story. In the next story, I'll tell you what they look like when you see 4,000 or 5,000 of them at a time.